Pleased to be joined by head coach of the Texans, Coach Steve Green joins us. Got a win on the road at Midland to start things off, and a win's a win on the road against a good Midland team. But let's talk a little bit about that basketball game, and let's start out with a few of the highlights, a few of the things you're happy with.
Well, I think you get two teams that both have high expectations for postseason play and get them together and what have you, and a lot of other factors take over sometimes, and maybe perfect execution is not one of them. But we pretty much played the way we normally do, and that is, we're very aggressive offensively. We shoot the ball, we push it down the floor and we shoot it fast and what have you, and make you extend out and guard us, and then hopefully, we can take advantage of some of that stuff a little bit later on. I don't think we did a very good job of that. I thought we did the first, but I don't think we did the latter very well. But fortunately for us, they were having their own problems. They couldn't score, and they mishandled a lot of balls themselves. I don't know how many turnovers they had, but they had quite a few, and so consequently, we were victorious. It's great to beat a team that you think is going to be 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the league on the road. So you're one game ahead of for sure them and everybody else.
Looking at this basketball team, and we talked about this last week about having a true point guard in this system, and Smith really changes a lot of things for you. And frankly, goes off and scores double digits for you. Obviously, a guy that maybe not expected to score like that, but frankly gave you a good basketball game against Midland.
Yeah, well, he's a pretty heady player. I mean, he doesn't force anything. He handles the ball. He passes it when guys are open, but he protects the ball. And I think he's going to see more as we get further into the conference what happened to him the other night, or what the plan against him was, and that's basically to try to cover shooters and leave him opportunities to go make plays, and he did. And if he gets to where he's hitting about 75 or 80% from the free throw line, I think he was 4 for 5 maybe, or 4 for 6 in the game the other night, and I mean that's pretty good. That's another very, very potent weapon. The year that we won a national championship here, we had a non-scoring point guard, but he never ever turned the ball over. And you get the ball to your shooters. You get shots every time down the floor. You can shoot 40% from the field and still feel good about it, because I tell the guys all the time, if you throw the ball away, that is a play that we cannot defend. We cannot get back and stop a wide open layup, and so. We haven't had a lot of those happen this year, and I give him all the credit for that.
Meanwhile, Henderson has a great basketball game, goes over 20 points, and maybe took some shots that maybe weren't the best shots in the world, but when you're hitting like that, it's pretty tough to hold on to the basketball and not shoot the darn thing.
Well, Marshall takes some shots that people would probably wonder, oh my goodness, but if you look at his stat line at the end of the game, he's 5 for 10 from the 3-point line, and in the first half. Who doesn't want that? I don't care if you shoot 10 perfect threes and you make 5. That's great. If you shoot 10 with high difficulty and you still make 5, it's still 15 points. So we went in at halftime, and I think he'd hit 5, and I think Deshaun had hit 1. We hit 6 threes in the first half. That's 18 points, and they had 1. So we're at 18-3. If you play everything else out even, you got a 12-point lead.
Yeah, quite frankly, it really kind of looks like the difference in the ballgame.
It is.
It really expanded that lead in the first half and gave you some cushion to work with.
Well, that's the way we play. I've got 3 or 4 guys, Marshall being one of them, Deshaun one, Malcolm one, Darrell another, Chase, if he's in the game, that I've told, if we push the ball up the floor and in transition, and you got your feet set, let it rip. Because these guys are really, really exceptional shooters. We may never have another crew like this, the guys that can really knock down that shot. But that's a high percentage shot for them. Who cares if it comes on the first pass or on the 19th pass? It's the same shot. So, we've given them the green light. That's the way we've played all season long. I think it also probably, you can probably look, within that and see, well, that's why you get up 16 or 17 and they cut it back to 8 or 9, because you continue playing like that. But then we blow it back to that again. So that's the way this team plays, and they seem to be successful at it. Also, if you shoot it, you don't throw it away. And a bad shot is so much better than a turnover anytime.
Meanwhile, you look at this defensively, and again, Midland didn't hit much on you from
No.
behind the arc, and you didn't play a bad game, I felt, defensively in the paint. Maybe let a couple of cheap ones get away, but for the most part, got some block shots out of this team and really got some good paint play from your post.
Well, with obviously with Yannick and in his wingspan, what I've seen this year is guys with a little bit that are you call long now, like Stanton and Malcolm and then Anthony Walker comes off the bench the other night. Those guys get a lot of block shots now because they don't want to take it all the way to the basket, so they pull up and shoot. And then the secondary blockers, I guess, or whatever you want to call them, they're getting the stat, but Yannick should be getting the credit, because he's standing underneath the rim, and so there's an area that you just don't go to, and so you pull up, and then there's somebody else there. So there's a smaller window. I mean, we've had to adjust the way we think defensively with this team because we have some strengths that we haven't had in the past.
Meanwhile, you get ready to go against Odessa coming in here on Thursday night, and the next task on the plate, let's talk about Odessa. Going to have another good basketball team. At least you get them at home.
Right. I think they have one loss, and during that one loss, their leading scorer and leading rebounder didn't participate in the game. So, I look at them like they're undefeated. I mean, when they have their team intact, they have not been beat yet. They're coming in here, they're very, very aggressive. They push the ball, they play extremely hard, I think. They're not they don't have the size, inside that we do, but they're very athletic and very quick. And, I think we're going to be very fortunate to be able to possibly do some of the things that we want to do, because I think they're tough. I mean, they're gonna push us around and try to body us up and whatever. And then it goes back to we cannot throw the ball away because they get. I mean, they're running. They get, they prey on that stuff. They get a loose ball, they're going for it. And so we've got to make sure that we get shots each and every time down the floor to prevent that stuff from happening.
All right, Coach. Final thoughts for us before we let you go today and get ready to play Odessa on Thursday.
Well, that's going to be a big game. It's probably the game in junior college basketball, I would think. Because if you believe anything in rankings, and I really don't, other than it kind of stirs up some interest. It's 2 and 5. They'll be here Thursday night, so hopefully we'll have a crowd that's that wants to see some good basketball.
All right, Coach. Appreciate your time as always. Thanks for dropping by. I look forward to catching up with you after the ball game.
All right.